This is another movie review from 2019, and this one is called Pain and Glory. It's directed by the Spanish director Pedro Almodovar. I've been a big fan of his over the years, so I was really looking forward to this, and I have to say I wasn't disappointed. He's also responsible for the writing and the cast. In the lead role is Antonio Banderas, who plays Salvador Malo. A word about Banderas: he appeared in a number of movies of Almodovar's in the 80s, and also a few years back, The Skin I Live In, which was an excellent movie. Asia Extendia plays Alberto Crespo. He's an actor who starred in Salvador's movies, and he's also a gay lover of Salvador. Leonardo Sbaraglia plays Federica Delgado. Federico is also was a person who Salvador befriended, and they became lovers, and became the subject of a character in a film of Salvador's, because he's a director, a film that was released some time back, and that becomes a significant part of the plot. More of that later. Nora Navas plays Mercedes. She's a female friend who takes care of Salvador. She's a little bit like a sort of housekeeper friend, because he's subject to a series of ailments and illnesses. Jacinta, played by Juliet Serrana, plays Salvador's mother in old age, and the same character as a young woman is played by Penelope Cruz. Now, Salvador, as a young boy, is played by Asia Flores, and one other significant character, Cesar Vicente, plays Eduardo, an illiterate sort of villager who becomes involved in the family, and the young Salvador teaches him how to read English, how to read the alphabet. Sorry, not English, of course it's Spanish. Okay, so those are the significant members of the cast. So Almodovar's latest movie is seen by many as akin to an autobiographical reflection on his life through the portrayal of a director, Salvador, played by Antonio Banderas. He's in sort of semi-retirement, due principally to his continued ill health. The film shifts between events in the here and now, as an old man, and memories of himself as a child, aged probably about 12, living with his parents in abject poverty. Through flashbacks, we gather knowledge of how Salvador developed a love for words, a love for film, and for learning. His warm relationship with his mother, played by Penelope Cruz, is displayed considerably, and it's explored thoroughly throughout the film through flashbacks, and also his sexuality as he starts to become aware of his interest in the male body, and how he becomes attracted through facial mannerisms early on. We witness the man Eduardo, who's painting the walls of the property called a cave that they live in, and he takes a shower, and the camera pans over to his naked body, and we see the young Salvador looking inquisitively at the man's buttocks and penis, And so this an awakening of homosexual desires is covered considerably in the movie. Throughout the film we see three significant relationships that Salvador has with male figures. As a young boy, he teaches this a villager, and that's the first relationship. It becomes a very warm relationship as the man is extremely thankful for the assistance he gets in learning to read and write. And he responds by being meticulous in his way of making the living quarters much more appealing. He's got a talent for art, and his flair comes through. And we witness an event later on of a drawing that he makes of the young Salvador, and it later appears in an art gallery that Salvador visits with Mercedes, and he spots this portrait of himself as a boy, painted by this Eduardo. Secondly, we explore his love-hate relationship with Alberto, played by Asia Exandia. Alberto, a star in one of his movies. Alberto is also his lover, but the movie that we refer to, Flavor, after its release, they fall out. Very much a case of how Salvador sees Alberto changing the script to something that he didn't approve of. But as we see in the movie, this movie directed by Salvador, Favor, is the subject of a renewed interest, and is to be re-released, and as a result of this, Alberto reconnects with Salvador as they are being asked to become involved in a presentation of the re-released movie, and this brings about a very poignant scene when they first meet after a gap of some 20 odd years. And of course they were also both lovers, and so this recharges to some extent the conflicts, but also the genuine affection that they have for each other. And thirdly, there's following the renewed interest in this movie, Favor, Salvador is reconnected with the main character in the movie, one Federico Delgado, the character that Salvador wrote the movie about, was a previous lover of his, and this man who has moved on and become married and has children meets Salvador again as they sort of recollect the nostalgia of their relationship, which was clearly a powerfully strong factor at that time in their lives. What I like about the film is you can really get into the characters. They develop, they become vulnerable, likeable, nasty, real. But Banderas' performance is subtle, not over dramatic, but able to show a deepness, an awareness, and a sensitivity, and his nostalgia for warm memories is particularly prevalent, particularly those with his mother. His desires are also seen, recalling the men he was attracted to. So lots of positivity here, and an excellent portrayal by Banderas. Some scenes are really worth noting. Early on, in his school, his talent as a singer shines through in music class. Then when he's teaching the illiterate labourer Eduardo the letters of the alphabet, very moving. And then describing his list of ailments to visual pictures of the anatomy, I found very interesting, almost like a physiology lecture. And then as a boy, him reacting very angry to the thought of going to a religious school to continue his education, which certainly hinted that in future life he wasn't exactly likely to be a follower of Catholicism. His last day with his dying mother, particularly emotionally powerful. And then, as I mentioned earlier, seeing an art exhibit of himself posted by Eduardo. So there's lots of scenes in this movie that are deep and are very meaningful. Now, throughout, Banderas narrates, particularly when he's referring to his health issues. He has problems with a choking fit. He's got back problems, and this is the main reason why he hasn't worked for a number of years, and he's become very much into himself, and his esteem has dropped considerably. But he also narrates when we see periods when he's describing his feelings to his lovers, and whilst reuniting with Alberto, they redeveloped a shared use of heroin as a sort of an activity that they enjoyed doing. This is reluctantly for Salvador, but he soon gets to grips with it again, and it perhaps makes a question in your mind as to whether in fact this may have taken place between Banderas and Almodovar back in the 80s when they were working together. Latterly, we also witnessed, as I say, the scene with the mother, and it's very much a need for him to express how he felt that he wasn't a very good son, and he had feelings that he neglected her, and it's very touching. The movie's a bit of a slow burner, and as I say, ask that question: how much of this is autobiographical? The fact is that the sharing of the heroin, the gay lovers, we are aware that Almodovar is in fact gay, so one it's food for thought really as to how much this might reflect his lifelong relationships, but nevertheless it clearly shows, the movie clearly illustrates through its title what the movie is about: pain and glory. The pain of your own mortality, your body not functioning as well as it ought, the aches and pains and illnesses that you're experiencing, and the glory symbolised by the memories of youth and of being successful as a director involved in the culture of movie making. And I think overall it really is an excellent piece of work, and I really enjoyed the movie. Just a quick word about the fact that it has touched the awards season. Banderas received a nomination for an Oscar for his performance, and it was also a nomination for Best Non-Foreign Language Film at the Golden Globes. So that's my take on the excellent Pain and Glory, written and directed by Pedro Almodovar.